everyone, it's Dennis Youssef here from IGT, and I've got Darren Hunter with me again today, and we are IGT, and this is the Top Growth podcast show. Darren, amazing to have you on board here again.
Cool, and you said IGT twice, so no one's going to forget that.
No.
But yeah, welcome everyone. Really excited. We're actually, Dennis, we're writing a book, our next book at the moment. We're just releasing one at the moment, which is Master Your Time for nuts and bolts for crazy busy property managers. Really excited about that one. But I'm writing everybody our next book, which is going to be probably a few months away. And I'm really excited. And it's actually the very topics that we're talking about today. So Dennis, really excited with this one. We've decided we want to talk about the importance of getting reviews.
Yeah, reviews, testimonials, recommendations, whatever you want to call them, Darren.
So let's get started, Dennis. So people are very clear, what are reviews? What are they?
Well, I mean, basically that's where, you've got your clients, right? And they're writing a review about you. I mean, there's different areas where reviews can get to, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But it's where someone is actually talking about their experience with you. Whether you're going to a restaurant, you might leave a review about that restaurant, about your experience that you've had with that restaurant. In the real estate world, we need to be getting reviews, testimonials from our clients, or recommendations, depending on what platform that you're getting these from our clients. Our current clients need to be sharing their positive outlook or experience that they're having with you.
So Dennis, where are the places where reviews are collected? Now, obviously Google, Google reviews, but what other reviews are important?
Yeah, I mean, Google reviews is, if not the most important, right? It is the most important. And I love that it's free, F-R-E-E, complimentary, however you want to say it. Not like these other third-party websites that are out there trying to promote you to give them money and they'll get some for you. But Google obviously is one. You've got LinkedIn, where you've got those recommendations. You've also got Facebook. Also, they call it recommendations as well. Let's not forget about a really, really important one, YouTube as well, where you can actually have video testimonials on your YouTube channel, and which are then linked to your website. More video views that are on your website helps your search engine optimization as well. But there's various other places, for our amazing American clients and family and friends that are listening in on this podcast. You've got Yelp as well. Now, yes, Yelp is in Australia and New Zealand, but typically speaking, that's when the Americans are traveling and they'll leave a Yelp review in whatever country they're in. Our dearest long lost friend, Kevin Knight, used to use Yelp as a point of difference. And we've actually done a podcast on that. I did a podcast with Kevin, and he used Yelp as a huge point of difference to gain business because everyone was going to Google. So he did both, which was smart.
Such a sad loss losing Kevin. I know that he's passed away in the last 12 months, and he was dear to all of us. Of course, one of the best property managers and property management agencies in Texas, based in San Antonio. And he taught us a lot. But just, Dennis, why is it then, like, we're all smash busy, we could be focusing on growing the rent roll or whatever. Why should we be spending time on getting reviews?
Darren, you actually already gave the answer. Growing your rent roll. Come on.
Okay, well, so let's do that. And of course, everyone, I'm just asking Dennis questions. I know the answer to that, but we're trying to show you the importance of doing this. And Dennis, I remember just a
credibility. Credibility. Let's say it's credibility, right?
I'm staying in I'm staying in New Zealand, and I'm looking for a great place for breakfast. But I don't want to just turn up at any shop that I've never eaten in before. I want to see it. And I actually went on Google reviews, looked up, breakfast locations, and it immediately brought up the locations within 200 meter, whatever, that I could walk quickly, and I might have 5 or 6, and I could see their rating.
Yeah.
Is it 4.7, 4.6, 3.9? And I could actually then, I'm now drifting towards the highest ones, because I know that if 100 people have overall given a 4.9 rating, then I'm likely to get a really, really good experience and good breakfast, and I'm happy. So I actually ended up eating at that same place several mornings, because the trust that the Google review gave me, I knew I was in for a good experience right away.
Yeah, totally, Darren. On that, to add to that credibility, right? So, they've had a 4.9. I look at it in another way as well. And just to add, if you go into Google Maps, that's where you should be doing your searches, through Google Maps, right? If you wrote cafe, automatically near me comes up, because something near me, when you're doing a search, is one of the most searched engines on Google. So, and that's the same for TikTok as well. I'll just throw that in there, right? But now, for good credibility, 4.9, that's great, but I would not have went there if they didn't have more than 50 Google reviews. Okay, if they had 40, I'd go, okay, that's pretty good, right? But I want to see 50 different experiences from people, and it's got to be above 4 for that good credibility, right? I was just training a client today, Darren, on Google reviews, and their rival has 198 reviews. They've only got 102. Okay, their 102 is 4.3. The one with the 198 has got a 3.2. So it's not about the mass, but it's about the average.
Yeah.
So, that's a point of difference that they can use for that credibility, okay, to showcase that on average, they've got a lot more happier clients. Okay.
So I just want to share with you a story that there's Martina Berry, Dennis. She did some training with us on Google reviews some time ago. And if you go to Google Maps and search property management Rockingham, now these details will still be there now, but I do know that there's been a change of hands in the business. So how much in future that information is going to be there, I don't know. So property management Rockingham, if you do that, you'll then see all these pings on the map with 6, 7, 8 other agencies. But property management Rockingham with the professionals Rockingham, which is Martina's business, had 660 reviews at the time that I saw it. The nearest competitor, number 2, had reviews in the 200s. And then the others just petered out from there. So the difference between the number 2 and the number 1 with the amount of reviews was something like 400 reviews. And I called up Martina and I said, Martina, you've done really well with your Google reviews. How has that worked for you? And she said, Darren, I'll just give me a minute. I'll be back. And she went and got some stats and came back, Darren, in the last 4 weeks, we've had 276 leads come into our business for sales and property management directly because of the amount of reviews that we've got. Everyone, it's a lead generator. That's the point. And when you get your reviews at a high rating en masse, a lot more, far more than your nearest competitor who's got Google reviews, then this is going to ramp up that source of leads for you. Now, Martina did that training on Google reviews with us. It's actually part of the Top Growth Academy that you can be a part of. It's actually part of our membership. Just go to igtmembership.com. We're going to be launching that shortly, but each month we're going to be going through, for example, reviews. The next month, we're going to be going how to convert private owners. The next month, how to get more growth with your current owners. The next month, we'll be using social media. So each month, we're going through a key rent roll growth strategy. You only need 2 or 3 to be really working for you. We really invite you to get the same training that Martina got to get this strategy in place. And as you can see, it's paying really, really well for her. But it's that trust, isn't it, Dennis? Because real estate, property management, it's all about trust, and reviews fast accelerate that, don't they? Because they're looking for the best person, particularly when they're searching online. They're looking for the company that's going to look after them the best. They're actually not looking for cheap fees, everybody. They're looking for a quality, reliable property management agency. And if all your reviews and lots of them scream that out, then you're the one that's going to be getting a call from that person, and likely it's going to come in warm, and which means people are going to resist you the least on your fees because trust has been established through your reviews. Dennis.
Totally. That credibility, Darren, is so important. It's imperative. And as you shared with, with Martina, and you actually gave some stats, which she was happy to share. And the important thing there, she's tracking where her leads are coming through. That credibility just continued to build. And what that did is it built its worth.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she also did is when a review came in, if a name was mentioned, she went to that staff member and told them.
Yeah.
Which is helps and adds to that culture, and the self-worth of a business just absolutely builds, because of that as well, which then adds to your credibility, when different names are being mentioned. And I actually recall having a conversation that, property management was getting all of the Google reviews in Martina's business, and the sales guys were getting a bit narky, right? It's great. It adds to that competitive spirit of sales versus PM. So the sales guys then jumped on board and started getting some reviews and that as well, only to add more credibility to the business.
Yeah.
Right?
And it actually is a lead generation machine,
yeah,
all unto itself, that will supply you regular leads on a regular basis, just like salespeople in your office, hopefully forwarding you leads when they sell a property to a property investor. It's the same power there. So please don't ignore this strategy. It takes time to get it going, but boy, Dennis, we've seen some amazing results, particularly some of our friends in Texas, some of the competition they've had between companies, but the reviews that they're putting on in the hundreds and pushing over 1,000, because they realize the power that this can create in bringing in a solid flow of quality leads. This is all a lead generation strategy, everybody. So Dennis, let's move on. When is the best time to ask? We can't just send a big email out to all of our owners, hey, can you do a review? When are the best times or opportunistic situations have we got to get a review?
Oh, straight away at the happiest point, right? So when you're dealing with a new client, as an example, you've just signed up a tenant. Ask them at their happiest point. They're so happy. They've just been approved for a property. So always ask at the happy moment. So getting from the tenant, a tradesperson, once they've utilized you for the first time, you should be calling them up. How's your experience with us? You've got paid. That's great. Would love to get a review, and at the same time, offer to give them a review back for their great services and let them know, right? But with a new owner, ask them once the lease has been signed. Right, as long as that experience has been happy, you don't ring up that landlord that wouldn't reduce the rents. They kept on saying no to the tenants, or it sat vacant for a lot longer because maybe the BDM didn't educate them, or the property manager didn't educate on price, whatever the case is. It needs to be part of your KPI. So Darren, if you and your landlord, right, and I just leased out your property, or the leasing team, and they've signed the lease, I'd be sending you, I'd be contacting you. We'll explain how to do it in a second, but I would be contacting you at that happy point straight away. Darren, we've just leased the property. That's great. Blah, 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 blah. I would love to, as you know, my job is to help educate owners why they should be using us. I would love to share your experience, and so they can see what their experience is going to be like. So you're asking for the credibility, and they're going to be happier to help you. If you've just kicked a tenant out, Darren, don't ask them for a review. But you know what? When an owner moves back into a house, when you've just sold a property for them, all of these happy points is the best time. But that's new business. That's at new transactions. You've also got those times where an owner may have been with you for 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, and you haven't asked them. And I think we'll go through that in the next point. But really the point that we're making here is always ask your happiest clients first, and ask at the happy point, at the happy transaction.
So I think you've made it clear. When to ask is at happy points, when people are thrilled, happy, get them in that moment, get them the sweet spot, and then shepherd them over to leaving that review. Having said that, Dennis, I know that Google has some stringent policies in place, don't they, around how we get people to fill in reviews. What are some of those things we've got to be aware of?
Yeah, so we really need to be wary of the same link being used, Darren. So if you were to send an email campaign out, right, and you put a one link on and it got sent out to, let's say, 100 different landlords or 100 different tenants, that's coming from the same IP address. Google know that you've sent that out as one hit, and they can absolutely tear that down, right? They'll just remove the reviews. It's the same thing, Darren, as an email signature. Click here to review us. So that was one IP that's created that email signature. You know, so that's a prime example of a warning. And what Google want to see, Darren, is they want to see regular reviews coming through. Okay.
Not all in one hit.
No, like if you were to, you know, and again, we'll talk about other ways of getting reviews. You don't want to have, like, you might run a campaign once a year. Okay, that's going to work against you. Google
give someone a prize if they go and leave a Google review, and 500 people go on there within a few days.
Darren, I've nearly been a trainer for 10 years, and I remember I used to train about, sending out a PDF with prizes. You know, go in the draw to win an iPad. I remember I used to help clients, go in the draw twice if you'd give us a Facebook and a Google review. It's really important for the reviews, and it's not just about Google reviews is the best format for credibility, but it's important to have those reviews across the board so that it backs up your credibility as well.
That's cool. All right. Well, how do we do it? What is, given all these rules, and for example, Google changing the rules, and what's the current way, the best way right now that we can get our clients in their happy points to be leaving us reviews? And that includes tenants as well.
Totally. It's through Google Maps, right? And if you do a search on your phone for your business through Google Maps, that's a new IP search. You can actually click the little rectangle with the arrow up, and that means share. Okay, you can share that as a link to somebody, so that's one way of doing it. Or, another way is actually, Darren, if, sometimes when we're at events, what do I do at the end of the event? I get everyone, hey, everyone, did you like our training? Yeah, we liked that. Great, thank you. I'd love to get some feedback from you. Pick up your phone, everyone pick up your phone. Go to open up Google Maps and do a search for us. I actually ask, right? So I literally ask, and that's face-to-face asking. So a great idea is actually asking at the leasing time. So that's a way of getting it. Pick up their phone. Here you go. I'll do the search and search the business up and show them. But it's got to be through Google Maps. It can't just be through Google, because Google has actually changed its whole process and systems again. If you do a search on Google to look them up, okay, it doesn't have that proper search for you. It's got to be through Google Maps, and that helps build the pin. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of asking is through video, Darren. So we train about video text messages. So a BDM, once you have signed the landlord up and the tenants have all signed up, send the owner a video message, a personalized video message. Hi, Darren, it's Dennis here from IGT Realty. Fantastic news. I've just found out and heard that the tenants have signed the lease and they're moving in today. That's great. I'm so happy that your property leased in X amount of days, which is brilliant, as promised, and personalize it to them. As you know, my job is to get educate people how and why they should be using us. I'd love your feedback. I'll share a Google review link with you after this video and send it, right? So yes, you can do it individually in an email as well. Yes, but it's got to be individually, So that's really important. You know what I really love, Darren? Some breaking news. I just brought up video. Everyone's going, Dennis talking about video again, right? Google reviews now allows videos to be uploaded to the review, not just a photo. You are now allowed to upload a video. So if you can get your owners to do a video testimonial, by crikey, get that up onto your Google reviews and add that to your YouTube channel. And that's what you showcase. Have that. So Darren, if you did a Google review for me as a real estate trainer, I know you're not going to because we're business partners, but if one of our clients did a video testimonial, I'm going to have that under my bio. This is what other people have said about Dennis. That's what real estate agents should be doing. It comes back to that credibility. So videos is a great way of getting Google reviews. You can still run a campaign as long as you're individually sending them, and those video text messages as well.
And Dennis, I saw a great idea. I was eating breakfast in St. Augustine at the hotel we were speaking at in Florida for the NARPM event. And at breakfast afterwards, they gave me a little card where, you know, leave a Google review for this person that served me. And so it was put onto printed onto a business card with how to leave a review. And so giving those printed cards to people at their happy point. Alrighty, and people take that card, they take it home. It's there to remind them. You haven't just mentioned it for them to forget in the next 5 seconds. It's tangible. It's on a card, and you know, and then they're going to stick it on their desk, look at it until they will hopefully pick it up and then take action to leave that review. Because the card is always reminding them. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah, they're asking a happy point. Now, Darren, one area that we haven't mentioned is actually calling your current clients. It's actually picking up the phone. Don't just do an email blast. Actually pick up the phone, do some no reason calls, ask for, you know, how's your experience going with our award-winning agency? That's fantastic. I would love to get a Google review from you. I'll message you a link, or I'll email you a link after our conversation. It's always asking. Sometimes, Darren, somebody may email you, oh my goodness, thank you so much for leasing our property, or thank you so much for that tenant, you know, helping us vacate that tenant. Call them and say, wow, thank you so much for that feedback. I'm going to let Michael know how happy you are with the services. I would love you to write him a Google review and I'll share that with him. Now imagine how that's going to make him feel. You're using emotion, right? They've written you a testimonial. Let's turn it into help us with credibility to win more business.
Yeah. So look, everyone, we're going to wrap this podcast up. But before I do, just want to make mention, Dennis, you've written your book, The PM Lead Secrets. It's got over 40 ways to grow your rent roll. Reviews is just one of those, everyone. It really just get a hold. If you haven't got it, you got to get it. It really is the Rent Roll Growth Bible. It goes through the most in-depth ways that you can generate leads without having to rely on salespeople. So just go to pmleadsecrets.com. That's pmleadsecrets.com. Now, we're paid for the book. All you've got to do is pay for shipping. So, you know, you still have to invest in yourself. We don't just pay shipping as well, because at the end of the day, people don't invest anything. They end up getting something, they stick it on the shelf. It's got no value. They're never going to open it up. And we don't want that for you. So just pay for shipping. And I just want to make mention again, one of our sponsors, Dennis, with Tuppy. I know it's a little bit off the beaten path, and but I just want to know, let everyone know, such a time saver. Tuppy is for everything of repairs and maintenance in the property management nuts and bolts. One of the two things I really like is the ability for tenants to report repairs after hours. They use an app, but the issue, Dennis, to get onto that app and very quickly get in there, there's a QR code that you get from Tuppy. You put it on a cupboard in each rental property. The tenant knows when they want to report repairs, they simply go to that QR code. It opens up the app, and that's where, and they can see all the jobs that they've logged previously. And so this app, and then they can talk and they can get response 24/7. It's called the Tenant Concierge, everyone. And I really would encourage you to go and take a look at it. Just go to Tuppy, TAPI-HQ, TuppyHQ.com. Go and get a demo for yourself. They also have finance for owners as well on big tickets, so they can pay off big repairs over 12 months. Might be a hot water cylinder or service that costs them $2,000, or an expensive repair that they can't afford to pay, or whatever. The finance options as well. So go to Tuppy, TAPIHQ.com, and go and get yourself a demo. Check it out for yourself. I just wish it was around, Dennis, when I was a property manager. But I just want to say thank you to everyone for listening in.
On that, like utilizing Tuppy as a point of difference for your agency to help you win more business, you hit the hammer on the nail. Yep. If it was around when we were BDMs, it would have been so much easier and helped us win more business.
Yeah, correct. And talk to them about how you can use it as a point of difference as well. But, I want to invite you to be part of the Top Growth Academy. It's group coaching. It's very affordable as well. It's for your whole team. We've got other academies as well you can take part of, which is Master Your Time Academy. We've got Win Your Worth, where I'm teaching you how to earn and get the best fees in your marketplace. But just go to igtmembership.com. You're welcome to request a demo with me. All the information's on there. We want you to join us because we want you to get success. Look, with the membership and with the academies there, look, if you can get better, more in-depth training at a better price than what we're offering there, you go take it, because you take that option. So we know we've got quality training there for you and your team, for you to go and get your rent roll growth goals. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone, Dennis. Let's wrap it up, and everyone will see you in the next podcast.
Take care. Thanks, Darren.
All right, see ya.